Hello everyone, my name is Bahar and today I will present my reflection on my research journey and how I pilot my mini field survey. Before I begin the presentation, I would like to take the time to acknowledge that Royal Rhodes University is located on the traditional lands of the Wisipsins and Lekingan ancestors and families. It is with gratitude that we now learn on these lands. My pilot study aimed to explore how customer experience and expectations have changed due to the COVID-19 crisis and what this means for the hospitality sector. The reason for choosing this topic was due to the outbreak of the COVID-19, tourism industry hinted severely. In return, it became essential for businesses to reimagine the customer expectations for the realities of this new normal. Thus, I decided on conducting an online questionnaire survey on the SurveyMonkey's website with the prestige hotel guest in the location of Souk in BC. I felt that my research problem would be best addressed on the future of the customer expectations from the guest perspective of the hotel that currently I'm working in. Therefore, my research was designed as an exploratory study that combined close-ended questions with open-ended options to get quantitative data. Having the mixture of both close-ended questions with the open-ended options guided the survey in a way that kept it on track and a better understanding of the actions to be taken to ensure satisfactory level and recovery of post-COVID. The pilot study also provided other valuable insights, which I will discuss later in the presentation. As a part of the research, the first step was finding the topic through brainstorming and reading articles and pieces of literature, and it changed a few times until my instructors approved it in the second step. Then in the third step, the reflection tree exercise helped clarify and narrow down the topic. In the fourth step, the draft research proposal was completed. After receiving the feedback in the fifth step, I reviewed the methods further research in the sixth step and narrowed it down to the survey data collection method for my mini field research. And after designing the question in the last step, the QR code was designed and ready for sharing the online survey. However, before sharing the QR code with the guest, the necessary ethical forms and permissions were taken from the general manager of the hotel and later on from the guest who had stayed within the same location. Furthermore, my survey was voluntary and anonymous, so all the participants were informed of the purpose of the collecting data. Some guests wanted to participate in my research immediately after they've been asked, so that means I haven't had to go to other hotels and search for participants in terms of sampling. And I found it important to notice that participants wanted to please the researcher in a way that they were willing to help with the research subject. I would say because they knew I'm working in the field. The sample size of my pilot study was limited to a pool of 6 respondents in the hotel, but it might be because the survey was shared only for 48 hours. So if I were to scale this study up in the future, I may increase my sample size to 50 participants or even more, and in a longer period of time. Having identified a problem that was interesting to me and deciding on the objectives of the pilot study was begin from reading the literature review related to customer delight and pieces of literature providing the challenges and negative effect of COVID-19 caused on the global market and reads a study in 2020. To better understand customer delight, I began to read up on the literature about the relevant information, though the relevant literature was a spin and I found a gap that became the impetus of my study. The main research that guided my study introduced by Torres and Kelling from 2013, which provided a typology of customer delight. Also, Torres, with his colleagues in 2014, introduced a quantitative approach in discussing how nationality affects the flexibility of services at hotels guided my research. Furthermore, the authors interviewed 200 guests to understand customers' perceptions of their experience, which greatly helped my pilot study. And lastly, Mehta with his colleagues from 2021 determined it's important for businesses to reimagine the customers' expectations for the reality of this new normal. However, the results of Pillay and his colleagues in 2021 would have yielded significantly different results. It became evident that we need to investigate how implementing the necessary technologies to answer customers' expectations. Torres with his colleagues in 2014 presented a valuable paper in which he stated the purpose and research questions are the fundamental basis on which to capture the key drivers of customer delight. Before designing my questions, I started to explore the questions that have been asked by the previous researchers that pertained to my topic. And after gaining the whole idea, I designed my questionnaire survey in 4 main sections. The real factors about the participants was my first section, and in the second and third section, I tried to bring the questions which are direct measures of the customer delight. And in the last section, it was about the antecedents of the customer delight. Creating the format for the surveys, I initially started with the SurveyMonkey where I formulated the questions and it gave me options which were how it would be answered, and I went with the 5-point rule, which was a strongly agree to agree, neither agree or disagree. So 2 positive and 2 negatives and 1 neutral to keep the balance. However, there were other options as well as a box where the participants could write their own opinion in that. I also included a QR code because guests could easily take the survey and respond quickly without any monitoring. According to the results of surveys, there were 6 respondents and all from BC location. A total of 50% were in the age group between 50 to 64, and the rest of the participants were in the group ages of 25 to 34 and 35 to 49 equally. Regarding the services and amenities that influenced their delightful experience, 50% chose quality of rooms, whereas the remaining 50% have chosen friendliness of employees and the variety of the products and services, 25% equally for each. And the majority of the respondents stated that COVID-19 had challenged this experience, which proved 75% strongly agreed with the impact of cleanliness and the hygienes in their decision for the future booking. In comparison, the remaining 25% indicated they agree as well. Word of mouth was an important element of this study, as well as all the participants assigned great value to share their experience with family and friends after a visit. Price, safety, and dining options will keep their high value on the customer expectations even in a post-COVID world. In addition, guests showed interest in digital services and innovations. A key finding of this research is guests seem to recall more delightful experiences regarding personalizing service innovations. In fact, 60% of all respondents expressed their delight with personalizing services, and 20% stated more sanitizing and cleanliness, respectively. Coding practices on my research, I found the codebook I made extremely useful after receiving the online survey responses. It helped me to draw back to the focus of the research topic by seeking some codes among the answers, prompting the key drivers that influence the customer delightful experiences. An article by Leonidas and his colleagues from 2013 proposed that The use of smart tourism technologies is an effective way to increase guest experiences and provide personalized services, such as an intelligent touch panel mounted next to the doorknobs, which allow guests to easily request cleaning service before leaving by simply touching the specific area. These smart systems, that later named the Guest Smart Agent by Emmer and Albany in 2019, can keep the past profiles of customers on TV, air conditioning, minibar usage, and play their favorite music in their arrival, and as well personalizing their services according to their data on their next visit. Suppose I would repeat this research in the future. In that case, I will definitely do it on a larger scale to get a better overview of the general perception. I will try to uncover specific factors driving more personalized customer delight in different locations. My experience from this meaningful research helped me to be more confident and clearer in the breakdown of research questions for the future. Now I have a better understanding of the research methods for the different desired outcomes as what I've learned, which depends on what we gain in the results. Thank you very much, everybody, for taking your time to listen to my presentation. I look forward to any discussions, questions, and suggestions that you may have. Bye for now.